one rolling back. You have both of them rolling back. Ignition start. I'm starting the APU.
Just double check your seatbelts, please.
Seatbelts, can I make sure you're
Relax. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Seatbelts?
What do you think that was? I think it was a bird strike. And we're going back to LaGuardia. Yeah.
Get out the QRH. Loss of thrust on both engines. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Cactus 1549. We hit birds.
Maintain 15,000 Delta 331.
We've lost thrust on both engines. We are turning back towards LaGuardia.
Okay, you need to return to LaGuardia. Turn left heading 220.
220.
Which engine did you lose?
Both engines.
Soup?
Yep.
I have an emergency.
Welcome back to the Wolves Den on our special on checklists. So on the intro from the famous film Sully, we saw a multitude of checklists being used. We had the bird strike. Immediately the two aircrew went into boldface. They alerted the crew in the back, who could start telling passengers who didn't follow anything. And statistically and interestingly, nobody on that aircraft put their life jacket on because they don't follow instructions, but hey ho. So the crew are there in the rear cabin looking at passenger safety. As the engines roll back, they do a boldface checklist, restart the engines, the APU, and then they get out the QRH, the quick reference manual, and we move into another boldface with a mayday. They're trying to sort a problem. And we also include the comm center, the ATC controller. He's now on a boldface doing a mayday, diverting traffic. He gets his supervisor in line with his procedures, and they continue. So today we're going to look at the next type of emergency checklists, which are non-time critical. And as an example, I've taken the pages out of the book again. I'm going to put this back. So this is what the pilot would face. So we have a hydraulic system, loss of hydraulic pressure. We've got indications, this may be what the problem is. And then we have a procedure that we can follow, word by word, challenge and response, to determine if this is actually the problem. So we start, reduce airspeed to 60 or 80 knots in airspeed. Hydraulic system, circuit breaker out, power not restored, push breaker in. Hydraulic system switch on, off if power not restored. Land as soon as possible. A run on landing at approximately 9 knots in airspeed is recommended. And it's designed to allow us to fault find. So these are emergencies still, but of a non-time critical. So how can we use those in the medical world? This is an example. I didn't write it. This is from Australia. So we've got, for the medics, accidental extubation emergency action. You can either run around and panic, or you follow checklists, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So the first thing we're going to do is declare an emergency to the pilot, because we probably may need to take our seatbelts off. We need to be safe to do that. The pilot may want to land to give you access to standing outside the aircraft and give you more room. So we need to tell the pilot what's happening in the back of the helicopter. Bag valve mask, immediate positive pressure ventilation with a face mask or guided airway, capnograph, suction. The helicopter, the pilot asks for emergency landing. The paramedic, he gets his secondary airway ready, a king in this case, and a crike kit. Check the king, all these kind of things. And there's one for helicopter, one for fixed wing. So that is a way we can very quickly fault find, vent failure, emergency action. What we're going to do, declare an emergency, patient, examine, ventilator, restart, monitor, ETCO2, heart rate, SpO2, BVM, provide manual positive IPPV, oxygen cylinder, secondary supply. And it gives us a checklist that we can follow through. Falling BP, emergency action. Cardiac arrest, declare emergency. Ask the pilot, is it safe to off belts? If you take your seatbelt off, it's technically breaking the law. But if that's the point, you're unaware that the pilot's going to do an aggressive manoeuvre and you're now thrown around a cabin, you mess up his weights and balance, you land on your patient, all kind of things can go wrong. So these are emergency checklists for non-time critical, for fault finding. Checklists. Learn the different types, learn how we can blend them together. Stay safe.